Hello everybody. Before the video starts, I want to make one quick announcement. Thank you guys for helping my channel grow right now. I'm almost at 100 subscribers, which is pretty cool. I appreciate you guys subscribing, and also two of my videos right now have over 1,000 views, which is also pretty cool. So I just want to say thank you. And yeah, without further ado, here is my video. So today I'm going to be kind of going through most of the features under the Rage tab of Aimware and describing what they do. So for all you new HVHers out there, so you can see what every function does on Aimware. For everybody using a different cheat, you probably don't want to watch this video. I mean, if you just want to hear my voice, you can, of course. Yeah, if you're using a different cheat, I mean, there's a couple things in here that may apply to you, like fake duck or, I don't know, auto direction, Hitchance and stuff. I don't know. If you want to keep watching, that'd be great. So yeah, let's get into it. I guess I'm just gonna start from this, go over these briefly. Don't really need to know that. Speed limit, you want to have that off all the time. Silent aim, you want to have that on client side. Friendly fire, probably off. Aim lock, probably off. Anti-spread, probably off. Anti-recoil, on. Taser hit chance, that's just your hit chance for taser. I recommend putting this from about 70 to maybe 90, somewhere in that range is good. Down here in extra, we have all these things. I guess I'll go through these more in detail. Basically, starting from very high, down high, medium, low, all these four guys, they, this very high processes all ticks, also, one thing I should note, if you have this off, there's no resolver button. You have to set it to one of these settings for there to be a resolver button and all this stuff. Anyways, very high processes all ticks so that you can hit fake lagging players or backtrack people. So that processes all the ticks. High processes less than very high, medium processes even less, and low only processes the first tick. So this won't backtrack people, and you probably will miss fake laggers as well. Adaptive is just adaptive, and last records, the first and last tick. I've never used this. I don't think it's very good from just reading the description, but I don't know. Don't know until you try, I guess. I usually have this on very high when I HVH. Of course, resolver, you want to have that on. Delay shot really depends. I usually have that off. And double fire, I usually have that on. That just shoots twice in one frame. Delay shot, if you're missing fake lag players, I would put that on accurate on lag. Accurate history sometimes helps, but it really depends. Usually I have that off. Actually, it really depends. I either have it off or on accurate history, but lately I've just had it off. I'm gonna skip the anti-aim real quick, and I'm gonna go over here. This enables your anti-aim. This is auto direction. I usually have this on closest, or sorry, not auto direction. At target. I usually have this on closest. This is auto direction. I usually have this on desync or default. One of them. I'll just leave it on desync. Fake duck is fake duck. You crouch and uncrouch really fast, and it's really difficult to resolve it. It is resolvable, but it's very, very hard. And I usually have that set to mouse 4. Yeah, it's just basically uses fake lag when you crouch up and down super fast, so your reel is technically never peaking unless you shoot, which even then, actually no, sorry, I'm wrong about that. Because now I think about it, when you shoot, your hits are really delayed, so that means the fake lag is active when you shoot. Shift on shot is the shift AA that I don't know exactly what that does. It's weird. It makes your shoot angles unhittable, so that's basically an anti on shot function. In my experience, it doesn't really work that well, but You can test it out. Here, yeah, this is just basically all the settings. Like, if you turn this on, your anti-aim will stay on when you pull out a grenade. But if this is off, when you pull out a grenade, your anti-aim will go away and you'll just be normal. Yeah, it's the same for all of these. Standing velocity threshold is the difference between these two, the stand and move anti-aims. If you have this at like 18, or if you have this at 250, you're not gonna ever be in the move anti-aim because it's too high. If you have this like at 100, which is somewhere, that's actually, where do I normally have mine? Mine's like 100, somewhere around there. If you have it there, once you reach, you'll be at standing anti-aim until you reach the velocity of 111.9, and from there on up, you will be at moving anti-aim. That's how that works. It really depends. If your slow walk speed, let's go over here. If your slow walk speed is like really slow, you can have this be like really low. But my slow walk speed is like somewhere in there, 20 to like 35. That's where mine is normally. And I'd say a stand velocity threshold of between like 90 and like 120. Probably good. I'm just going to do 111. So yeah, that's enough of all that stuff. Now to anti-aim. First one is emotion. It basically makes it so you're looking down, but you're not technically looking all the way down. You're looking down, but not straight down. That's what down is. Down pitch, you look straight down at the ground. Usually emotion is what people use in pitch. But yeah, up, you look up. 0, you're just looking straight forward. Mixed, you're going up and down really fast. I'll show you what that looks like right now. This is kind of glitched for some reason. Why isn't it working? Oh, there you go. Yep, see, look at that. Goes up and down super fast. I don't know why it's doing this. It's glitched. Whatever. Goes up and down super fast, so yeah, that's what that does. And then next is custom. You can just set this to whatever you want. I guess I'll show you. So right now it's at 80. I'm looking down. At 180 is the exact same as down. I'm not sure where the emotion degree is in here. It's somewhere in here. I don't know. If you set this at 0, you look straight. Set this up there, you're looking up and straight up. And there you go. Pretty self-explanatory. Shift does this thing, and your top head is technically unhittable, and your bottom one is. So the top is a fake, and the one looking down is the real. But for some reason, I have gotten tapped when people shoot the top, the one looking up. People shoot at that, and I still get like wand for some reason. I don't know why. And then yaw. Yaw static is just not moving. You're just there, looking back. Spinbot makes you spin. I'm actually just going to stay in third person so you can see these. That makes you spin, and you can set the speed. Now I'm going super fast. Now I'm going super slow. Jitter jitters you around. Like now I'm jittering at 22 degrees, back and forth, back and forth. Now at 50 degrees, 80 degrees. It's crazy. Crazy stuff. And my LBY is breaking. 0, if I look around, it doesn't change. It doesn't move at all. Let's put it back on static. Now it's moving with me. What was I at? 0. Switch is interesting. This is like, it goes back and forth. I'm gonna set demonstration. This is just demonstration here. It'll go back and forth. See, it's at a really slow speed right now. It'll just go back and forth, back and forth. And you set it high, it'll go back and forth really fast. Some people use this as an anti-aim. They have a slow switch speed and then some sort of switch range, something like this, I guess. And for some reason, it makes Aimware dump Aimware sometimes if you edge with it. So yeah, that's interesting. And then the shift here is, I usually put, if I'm using shift, I set it to like yaw add 90, so you're sideways. One of these is my fake. I think it's the left one. I think it's the left one here is my fake. But like I said with this, you can still get tapped. It's weird. I wouldn't use it. I just use static or switch sometimes. Desync, still, it doesn't break your LBY. Balance desyncs you to the right. So now I'm going to the right. Stretch does the other direction, and jitter just goes in between those two. It's kind of hard to see right now. I don't know why, but yeah, it kind of goes in between the left and the right. It switches in between the balance and stretch, I think, and then still goes the same direction as balance. It just doesn't break your LBY. So that's something interesting to know. Usually, actually, I've used all of these at one point in HVH. Right now I'm using balance, I think, or stretch, one of these two. I use one of these three. I haven't used still recently. I use balance, stretch, or jitter. Usually if I'm doing my moving AA, I would have it on jitter and something like that. I don't know. That would be my anti-aim. And then my standing would be stretch or balance, something like that. Oh, and edging? This is up to you. But I don't use edge AA usually because I think it's unnecessary. But if you want to use it, I actually recommend don't use any desync. Just do like this. That's it. If you use edge. So yeah, I think that's enough on anti-aim. I'm gonna go into weapons. So pistols. Polak just updated his cheat so that the deagle and revolver are in the revolver section. So that was updated pretty recently. So if you want to use a deagle, make sure you have it in the revolver section of the rage weapon, whatever. I'm just gonna go through all of these things, explaining them a little bit, and then I'll go through each of the weapons. Okay, I'm just gonna stay here. So auto wall, accurate and optimized. It's pretty self-explanatory. Auto wall shoots through the wall. I've never used optimized before. I think I might test that out sometime. But as you can see by the description, it might do more damage, but it'll probably miss more. Like accurate auto wall, you'll hit a lot more of your shots rather than optimized. See, it says optimizes penetration algorithm with the cost of accuracy. So you'll probably do more damage if you hit them. But yeah, I just use accurate usually. Auto stop. That really depends what weapon. For pistol, I have used both full stop and minimal speed. These are also pretty self-explanatory. It's like once you peek somebody, start shooting, you'll either come to a complete stop, which is full stop, or go slow, which is minimal speed. Pistol, I think I usually use full stop. I don't know why, but really depends. Auto stop crouch, that just crouches you. Auto stop crouches you. I have used this for pistol in the past, but it doesn't really work that well. So auto stop key, I've never used that. That just auto stops on key. You can do that if you want. Hitchance and min damage. I'm gonna skip those for now and then come back for each weapon. Auto pistol, self-explanatory. Target selection. You can either choose FOV, distance, next shot, lowest health, highest damage, or lowest latency. FOV is like the one you're aiming at, the closest one you're aiming at. Distance is the closest one to you. Next shot, I've never used this. Aimbot will cycle through all targets that can be damaged. Yeah, I think it just shoots one and then shoots another one if you're being double peeked, and then goes back and forth between them. It doesn't shoot one until they're dead. Yeah, I don't know. Lowest health will shoot at the person with the lowest health if you're picking multiple people. Highest damage, same thing, except shoot at the person that you will deal the most damage to. And lowest latency will shoot at the person with the least ping. I usually use highest damage for all my weapons. You can use lowest health for, I think, this would be good with scout, because you could just body aim people if you wanted. But yeah, I use highest damage usually. Hitbox priority, I use head pretty much all the time. If you want to make a B-aim config where you just body aim and you don't really go for head that much, I would put this on stomach or pelvis. Probably recommend stomach because stomach is, for most weapons, head is the highest damage, but I think stomach is the second highest damage hitbox. So if you're going to B-aim, I would do stomach. Body aim hitbox, this depends on the weapon. I would usually do pelvis plus edges for an auto sniper. I would do pelvis for scout, maybe center. Pelvis for pistol. Actually, pelvis plus edges for pistol. Hit scan optimizations. So backtracking, it will backtrack. I usually use this on all my weapons except for scout. Sometimes I turn backtracking off because it misses backtrack a lot for some reason with Aimware. I don't know why. Nearby points, it says it removes stacked points that don't impact accuracy. So if you go into visuals and like go to enemies and you can show aim points. Aim point shows all the spots that the cheat will aim at. If you put this on nearby points, it will get rid of ones that are like really close together. It'll just remove those. I think I usually have this off. It really depends. I actually don't know. This is something you just test out on your own. Adaptive hitboxes, have that on for every weapon because Polak is stupid and you go down to 1 FPS if you don't have this on for some stupid reason. I don't know. So yeah, I would have that on for every weapon. Hitbox selection options. These are all pretty self-explanatory. Ignore limbs if walking, won't shoot at legs or arms if the enemy is moving. Head aim if walking, it will shoot at their head if they're moving. Body aim if in air, it will B-aim if they're in air. Body aim if lethal, it will B-aim them if it will kill them. So here, usually, for pistol, I would do this. For scout, I would do this, the same thing. And for auto sniper, I would do probably something like that. Or maybe have head aim if walking off. It really depends. One of those. Yeah, head aim if walking doesn't... In my experience, head aim if walking doesn't mean if the enemy has any velocity at all, it will shoot at their head all the time. That's not what that means. It just means it will try to shoot at the enemy's head a lot more often. A lot more than normal. It won't... It's kind of... Honestly, it should be called head aim more. That's what the selection should be. Because it... I don't know. It's useful though. Hitbox selection method. I kind of compare this to onetap's accuracy boost thing. Because if you put this on accuracy, you're going to hit a lot more shots. If you put it on damage, you're going to miss more. But if you hit, you'll probably kill like a lot more. Usually with pistol, I'll have this damage. Revolver, I'll have this accuracy. Scout is damage. Auto sniper, it depends. Accuracy or damage. Yeah, so let's basically keep in mind, if you want to hit more shots, put it to accuracy. And also, if you want to hit more shots, put this on accurate unlag or accurate history. So body aim after X shots. It will B-aim after 8 shots, 2 shots, whatever, 15 shots. Pistol, if you're using dualies, you probably want to have this like kind of high, like 4. Scout is probably like 1. Auto sniper is like 2 or 3. Revolver is like 1. Because like this is a slow shooting weapon. This is a slow shooting weapon. This is faster, so you might want to have this actually like 3, maybe something like that. So that's what that does. Body aim if HP lower than blah blah blah. So if the enemy's HP is lower than 50, then it will body aim. That's all that is. I'm gonna go through all these. I actually don't need to enable all these. Usually for pistol, I won't have that many. hitboxes, like something like this. Scout, same deal. Revolver, same deal. Auto sniper will probably have legs in there, something like that. No neck. Don't do neck. Neck is bad. I don't use neck. It's pretty bad. If you don't feel like messing with these, put on this. I find that putting this on 80% is good, is a good amount. Maybe 90, somewhere in there, if you don't feel like messing with these. But usually, like Scout, you would do like boom, boom, boom. Easy. Head be a lot higher than everything else. Same thing with pistol. You probably do that. Something like that. I don't know. Just have to test it. So I think that's everything there. I will go over hit chance and min damage now. Yeah, okay. So for pistol, typically I find that hit chance you want 60% or lower. Anything probably between like 60 and like 20, 30, 60 and 30, probably good. And then min damage, you can have this pretty low, but you probably want to headshot people more with dualies. Like you want to one people more. I don't know here. You can have this 0 to like, I'd say the highest you should go on this is like 40 at the absolute most. 40 is a lot. It's probably too much actually. But min damage, you probably want this lower. I don't know. A revolver. Let's talk about the revolver first. This you probably want high. I'd say between 60 and like 85, let's say. Min damage, you probably want between like 25 and like 50. You want some high min damage here. Yeah, for like a deagle, it's similar. It's pretty much the same actually. You want higher hit chance because you want to be able to hit the person on the first shot. So you want a higher hit chance, right? And higher min damage so that you hit them for more damage so that you can like 2-shot them instead of 3 or 4-shot them. I'm gonna go to Scout now. Here is the same deal. High hit chance, I'd say probably between 70 and like 95 hit chance. I've actually used 100 hit chance before, but sometimes it's weird and doesn't shoot. I mean, that's not weird because it's waiting to shoot. But yeah, I'd say like 70 to 90, maybe 70 to 90, 95, let's say. Min damage, you also want this high. I'd say absolute minimum, do 50, and you could go all the way to 100, somewhere in there. Yeah. Next is auto sniper. I'd say I've seen people do 50 hit chance and 50 min damage, like that work for them. But I'd say here a good rule is 60 to like 85. 60 to 85, somewhere in there. You could maybe go up to 90. I don't know. 60 to 85. Somewhere good. Min damage, you could probably do from like a good range is probably like 5 to like 40. Maybe 40, 50. I'd say 5 to 40 is a good range for auto sniper. I have not really configured it that much because I don't really use the op that much, but I'd say like here you want high hit chance as well, so I'd say probably 75 to like 95 again, somewhere in there. And then min damage, you want this really high. I think mine on one of my configs is this. I think it's this. And then you turn on op body aim, of course. I'll go over the rifle real quick because I have a pretty good assault rifle config. Here I'd say from like 40 to 60 is a good range. And then min damage like 15 to 30. 15 to 35. Let's say that. And you'll be good somewhere in there. Yeah, I'll go over fake lag. There's not that much. And slow walk. Slow walk really doesn't matter. It's personal preference and also based on stand velocity threshold. I think I said this earlier, but like 20 to like 35 is good. 20 to 30, somewhere in there. You could do slower slow walk speeds if you want to. Actually, generally probably a good range is like 10 to 30. That's probably a good range. Quick stop is useful. It basically, when you let go of all your keys, you'll stop pretty much immediately. So it's basically equivalent to the auto stop full stop, except just when you let go of your keys. I think I usually have that on. Oh, and slide walk, you want that on, of course. And then fake lag, if you're using factor, probably good range is from 5 to like 13, maybe 14, 15. Somebody asked in the comments, or said something in the comments about double fire not working with fake lag on. I have found that if you do about 5 and below, anything from 5 to 1, your double fire will work most of the time. These settings, I don't have it on while shooting, I don't think ever. If you don't want to get on-shotted, turn this on. But while standing, I think I really switch between this. While unducking, I never have that on. Switch basically turns your fake lag on and off. Like factor, it's always on. It's basically factor, but it's like you're hitting a light switch like every 2 seconds or whatever. Like I think it'll extend, like if you set this to 15 and you have it on switch, it'll have your fake lag go out 15 ticks, and then it'll switch fake lag off for like half a second, and then switch it back on, let it go out for 15 ticks, and then switch it back off. That's what it'll do. Adaptive, it's this. I don't really like using adaptive because it usually sets it at a really high value. It tries to break what does it say? Fake lag values change into an attempt to break lag comp. It can be useful, I think, but I don't use it personally that often. I have before, and I don't do very well with it, but this is all personal preference, everything that I've said. So random is just sets a random value. It can go from 1 to 17 to 9 to 17. It's just random. I have used that before. I've actually done pretty well with random. And then peek, self-explanatory. Just when you peek an enemy, the fake lag will activate. If I'm using peek, I set this to like 0. And rapid peek, this is like the llama walk thing for one tap. When you peek, you will teleport out, and whatever you set your factor to, that's how far you will teleport. That's pretty much. I usually have it, if I ever use this, I have it on 1. I don't use it that often though. This max server process ticks, don't change this unless you know the server has changed it to be like 60, so you can set this factor 62. Just leave it on 16, don't change that. Yeah, so I think that's it. Not my next video. In the near future, I think I'm going to do a complete Aimware like overview, explaining every single feature of Aimware, because there's a lot. Like there's a lot here. I'm gonna explain everything in more detail. Let me know if you guys want me to release a Lua pack, because as you can see, I have a lot of Luas. So if you want me to release a zip file of all these Luas in it, just let me know. I might do that. And yeah, thank you all for watching, and thank you for almost 100 subscribers. For when you're watching this, I might be over 100 subscribers, so yeah, thank you, and thank you for commenting on my videos and watching my videos. I appreciate it. So yeah, thank you all, and have a wonderful rest of your day.